Hey, what's up, everybody? Today I'm going to be doing another episode of Good Morning Soul, and I'm also going to be doing another edition of That Game I Played. Gonna be dusting off another relic here. Gonna be dusting off another Harry Potter game, and this is the last one that I've played, so any future Harry Potter games are gonna be either full-length reviews, or I'm just gonna get lazy and do this. That's to say if I can even ever finish another Harry Potter game. That being said, let's jump into this. Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix is, this is much more based upon the movie, whereas the last games I talked about seem to be, are we adapting the books or are we adapting the movie? This seems to be very much just adapting the movie, with some more fleshed out scenes from the book. Because the look of this game, because this actually came out on the early Xbox 360 days, it looks like these are fully rendered, like supposed to look just like the actors. And for the most part, like, despite the fact that this entire game has this weird, like, gloomy haze to it, I don't know if that was to match, like, because the last couple Harry Potter movies did kind of have like this like atmospheric gloom to them, whereas the last games kind of turned that into like a Dark Knight epicness. The Order of the Phoenix, which is probably my least favorite Harry Potter movie, was just kind of like a gloomy, like and this you can say about Half-Blood Prince too, like a melodramatic gloomy movie with like weird romance subplots that don't go anywhere. They took a weird direction with this film. That's not to say that it was a bad film or that this is a bad game, just a strange design choice. A very strange tone, because when I'm playing Harry Potter, like, I'm trying to have fun, I'm trying to explore. I'm not trying to dry my eyes or anything. I'm not trying to be in a sad, gloomy state. But most of this game is you, like, going around Hogwarts, trying to form Dumbledore's army, because at this point in time, Dumbledore is getting, like, voiced out of Hogwarts. Dolores Umbridge is, like, going fucking crazy, doing all these things. So, you want her out. You gotta get rid of bitch Umbridge. So you're gonna form Dumbledore's army. You're actually doing a lot of fetch quests, doing a lot of bullshit missions for these random students around Hogwarts. That makes up a bulk of the game, actually. I remember really chasing the achievements for this game, just like, oh, getting more members for my army, yeah. I remember in this game, there's Hogwarts is fucked up for whatever reason. Like, you run around this whole game and, like, there's a bunch of broken, like, random things, and you just use, like, the repair spell a bunch, and you just move stuff around in order to find, like, little things to get points. With these points, you go into this, like, mysterious room where it's, like, kind of like a relic room where you get to actually watch, like, behind-the-scenes footage, and it's supposed to be, like, kind of extra, like, I like that games, like, rather than a movie where it's like, oh, here's, like, the bonus content, here's, like, the, whatever it's called, the extras. Games make you, like, you can actually earn them, and that makes, like, experiencing them, like, a little bit more interesting. Like, I remember, like, finishing God of War and then getting, like, the extra credit scene where they tried to say, they tried to give him this origin story that was actually, changed later on. So it was a non-canon origin story. But little things like that, like, I really appreciate with games sometimes. So this game, like, actually, that was actually a good, solid thing about this game. And again, like, the best parts of these games where you get to run around Hogwarts and fuck around. Like, and they let you do this, and they actually, like, you actually move, like, in order to perform spells, like, you would actually have to move the wand, like, with the analog stick a certain type of way. And I know if you were playing on Wii, that would actually be probably pretty cool. I do remember boss fights sucking dick in this game. Like, fighting Voldemort at the end was just like, oh. Like, literally, it's like a little mini game that you do, like, Snape will, very much like how he did in the book and movie, like he's trying to train Harry to fight the Dark Lord's mind, but fighting the Dark Lord's mind is a shitty mini game, and then like you do it at the end and it's so cheesy. It's just literally blackness with Voldemort standing there just doing a little mini game. Very anticlimactic, but I know that you get to be Dumbledore and fight Voldemort, which is probably the most interesting thing about the game, or one of them at least. I do like running around Hogwarts. I do like collecting things. I do like this layout of Hogwarts because, like I said, every video game and every movie puts Hogwarts and like all the things are in different places. Nobody can decide where Hagrid's hut is. No one can decide where the hall to the like door is. No one can decide any of that. So I'm sure the game designers just had a field day like, oh, well, we might as well just make whatever we want then, because you guys can't decide. But yeah, it was a very simplistic game despite all that. Like, you get to, oh, Jesus Christ. I'm watching gameplay over here to get like a refresher. It does look like the renders for these characters do look really bad, and then when they try to have full convincing scenes, it doesn't come across. They don't have any facial like expressions, but they do manage to get some of the voice actors, if not I think most of them, like even like the big budget ones. Like I'm pretty sure Ron, I don't know, I think Harry and Hermione are voice acting too, if I believe, which those are actually legitimate big time actors, so if they were able to get them in the studio, hell yeah. But you know, this is still a licensed game. This is still like a licensed early Xbox 360 game. Don't get your hopes up. Like, if there's not like a great Harry Potter game out there. If there is, I haven't played it. And from what I've looked on the web, doesn't seem like there's all that many. I will say that this game like came close, like if they made a couple design choices. And I think like this was the worst Harry Potter movie. This was like this was a very dialogue heavy Harry Potter film, so it was hard to adapt. Like I know like early like think of adapting Goblet of Fire. Like you get to do multiple like I haven't played the game, but there's so much more content there to adapt. Like there's so many like big missions and fights that you could do. Harry like trying to learn these different things, him getting trained up, him like but you know, that's not the point of this game. The point of this game is to explore Hogwarts. And they do this, they actually like will give you like a little map, a little you actually like this is actually a cool idea where the Marauders map, which is like it's a map with little footsteps telling where everyone is. You can actually like be like, hey, where is this character? And like you just follow footsteps on the ground as if like it's like a 3D Marauders map. And even though that's bad because you're not looking at the pretty environments, you're looking at the floor. And it's also bad because I remember like specific moments in the game where it would be like putting me in circles and I'm like, where the fuck do I go? And because, you know, there are stages where it's like you have to go up ladders and you have to like go to like this little where the owls hang out, and you know that area isn't good for being pointed at and be like, hey, this is where you go. But you know, even like big games, I remember like that happening in like the Fable 3, where it'd be like, here's the breadcrumb trail. So it's not like a bad game design choice, it just takes away from the environment and like it gets finicky sometimes. But you know, for this game I thought it worked. Like, just because, you know, we're not dealing with like a big AAA game here. So taking shortcuts, not a bad decision when you're dealing with something like this. And I just typed out the stupidest thing into Google just now. The Order of the Phoenix. And I try to get refreshed literally as I'm doing these videos. I'm such a terrible person. But this game, despite its gloomy look, there was some quality to it. It came out, you know, at a time when we were like hoping, you know, maybe there would be a cool, you know, HD Harry Potter game on like new consoles. You know, the Metacritic for this is 63, and for a licensed Harry Potter game like that looks like this, you know, not that bad. And this game came out in 2007, so at the time I'm recording this, it's like a little over a decade old. That's pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. So yeah, those are my thoughts on Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, which I didn't even know this. It was on Windows, it was on PlayStation 2, 3, 360, PlayStation Portable, Nintendo DS, Wii, Game Boy Advance in 2007. Jesus, I didn't know the Game Boy lifespan was that long. But anyway, those were my thoughts on Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. You know, very simple game, but I remember this point in time, like, playing games, just trying to get achievements. I think I rented it, and then I was able to keep it for whatever reason. The last copy that I had was on PlayStation 2. When I replayed it, it was on PlayStation 2. So yeah, that's my thoughts on this one. Anyway, I'll see you guys tomorrow with another episode of Good Morning Soul. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And with that, I leave you. Expelliarmus! Oh, and I forgot to mention, my score, Harry Potter and the Order of Phoenix gets like a 6 out of 10. That's my score. Anyway, thank you for listening.